you've got a new puppy. You've probably heard people talking about crate training, right? It's one of the most powerful tools out there for a dog owner. But, wow, is it misunderstood? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how to do it right so you can turn a simple crate into your puppy's absolute favorite safe space in the world. You know, when it comes to crate training, there are really only two ways it can go. When you do it correctly, you create this little sanctuary for your dog, a calm, safe den that they actually choose to go to. But if you get it wrong, it can become a real source of fear and anxiety. The stakes are pretty high, for sure. But the good news? The right way is all about positive, happy experiences. Okay, so first things first. We have to completely shift how we think about this. This is not about locking your puppy in a cage. Nope. This is about providing them with a secure den that they will learn to absolutely love. Once you see it from that perspective, everything else just kind of clicks into place.
I love this way of thinking about it. The crate should feel like their own personal bedroom. You know, it's their retreat, their place to chill out, a space that is 100% theirs and always, always safe. This one single idea is the foundation for everything we're about to cover.
So why does this method work so well? Well, it's because we're not fighting against your puppy's instincts, we're actually working with them. To get this right, we really have to understand the why behind it all, like what's going on in that adorable little puppy brain. The secret is, we're not really teaching them something new, we're just tapping into something ancient.
See, your puppy, and it doesn't matter what breed they are, comes from a long, long line of den animals. Out in the wild, dogs instinctively search for small, cozy, enclosed spaces to feel safe. It's where they can finally relax and let their guard down. The crate is basically our modern-day version of that natural den.
And a crate perfectly mimics those key characteristics, right? It's small, it's enclosed, and with our help, we're going to make it the safest place in the whole house. By giving them a crate, you're pretty much speaking your puppy's language and fulfilling this really deep instinct they have for security. All right, so let's get down to the practical stuff. How do we actually do this? We're going to walk through a super simple 10-step positive method. There's no force here, no fear, just a clear, step-by-step guide to building a great relationship with the crate.
Okay, so the first 5 steps, they're all about the setup and that first introduction. First up, size is key. You want a crate that's just big enough for them to stand up and turn around in. Any bigger, and they might use one end as a bathroom. Then, make it super cozy with soft bedding. Next, just leave the door open and let them check it out on their own. No pressure. When they do go in, shower them with praise and treats. And here's the kicker. Start feeding their meals in there. This creates such a powerful, positive connection, you won't believe it.
So, once they're cool with the crate, it's all about building up that time and trust. You can start by closing the door for literally just a few seconds, then open it right back up. You'll want to stay nearby at first so they know you're not abandoning them. Then, slowly, and I mean slowly, you increase the time and how far away you are. Pretty soon you'll be using it for naps and nighttime. And the last rule, the big one. You ready? Always, and I mean always, keep it positive.
Okay, I've got a pro tip for you, and this one is a game changer. Try to put your puppy in their crate before they turn into that overtired, zoomy-filled, bitey little land shark. You know what I'm talking about. Just like a tired toddler, an overtired puppy will fight sleep. Putting them in their cozy den when they're just getting a little sleepy sets them up for an easy win every single time.
So what about the rules, the timelines? How long is all this going to take? Let's talk about the practical side of things so you can set some realistic expectations, because that's super important for both you and your puppy.
Pay close attention to this chart, you guys. It is so important. A puppy's bladder is tiny, and their brain needs a lot of stimulation. These are the absolute maximum times they should be in a crate during the day. For a little 8-week-old, we're talking only 1 to 2 hours. Sticking to these times is honestly crucial for preventing accidents and keeping anxiety at bay.
And what can you expect timeline-wise? Well, here's a pretty good roadmap. The first day or two, it's all just about them exploring it. By the end of the first week, they should be feeling pretty good about going inside. And within a couple of weeks, you should start seeing them settle down calmly in there. Now remember, every puppy is different, so just use this as a general guide.
All right, we've talked about what to do, but honestly, knowing what not to do is just as crucial. So let's run through the most common mistakes so you can avoid any setbacks and keep building that all-important trust with your new best friend.
Mistake number 1, and this is a big one. Never, ever, ever force your puppy into the crate. Shoving them inside even just once is the fastest way to make them fear it, and it can undo all of your hard work in a single second.
This is huge. The crate is their bedroom, right? It's not a jail cell. The second you use it for a timeout or as punishment for something, you completely shatter the idea that it's their safe space. The trust, it's just gone.
And this goes right back to that chart we just looked at. Leaving a puppy in there for too long, beyond what their little bladder can handle, forces them to have an accident and creates so much stress. It's just not fair to them, and it's totally counterproductive. Stick to those guidelines.
Now, this one's a little tricky. You definitely don't want to reward attention-seeking whining by letting them out every time. But you also can't just ignore all crying. A young puppy might genuinely need to go out for a potty break. Trust me, you'll start to learn the difference between a little "I'm bored" whimper and the much more urgent "Hey, I really gotta go potty out here" cry.
And the last big mistake? Moving way too fast. Every single puppy learns at their own pace. If your puppy seems stressed out, just take a step back in the process. It is so much faster in the long run to build their confidence slowly than it is to rush ahead and have to fix a bunch of problems later.
And really, all of this, it brings us to the one ultimate goal. When this is done right, your puppy won't just tolerate the crate, they will choose it. You'll walk into a room and find them napping in there all on their own because you have successfully made it their #1 safe place in the entire world.
So, there you go. That's the playbook. You've got the science, the steps, and the big why behind it all. It's all about patience, positivity, and really understanding your dog. So the only question left is, how are you going to take this simple box and turn it into your puppy's absolute favorite room in the house?